Welcome to the field. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to take this leather sheath and turn it into this. Okay, so I've added a belt loop and a retention strap. Now this knife is, because of its shape, if you add a retention strap here across this, it doesn't hold the knife in because of this little recurve here. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I mean. So if I had a retention strap go across from here to there, right here, and that's really tight, it still comes loose. Okay, I can go all the way to the corner as well, put it in really tight. Still going to come out because of this recurve. So for something like this, you need a retention strap to go across there, and so you need to create a belt loop on the back of this sheath. Tools we need for this are, first off, snap fasteners. Okay, so this is they come in 4 pieces. So you have the bottom end, which is like this. Okay. And then the top end, right, which is the button. This obviously, then you use a tool to put that into place, which are these here. Okay, and you use these to push on these, and then you have one end, and you know, you have your other end, right? Okay. I'm also going to use these in different combinations because this is all I have at the moment. I'm going to use this end and this end, this end, okay, as a button to hold things into place, okay. I will also use, I think it is this end with this on the other side as well, okay. Next thing we need is leather dye, okay, and an applicator. Next is my trusted Leatherman. Okay, this is the Leatherman Super Tool 300 thread. Okay, for the leather, I bought this from a leather shop. Thick needles. Okay, I also bought this from my local leather shop. Okay, right here, a hammer. And lastly, I use a drill. Okay. A drill kit. For this job, we will be using, I don't know what size that is, but yeah, this piece here to drill holes into the leather. A pricking iron. I am first going to measure out how much leather we need to make the belt loop. This is my first time ever working with leather, so please bear with me. I'm not going to create something extremely fancy, as like I said, first time I've ever done this, so you know, it's not the best result, but it's a functional result, and that's what I was looking to do. Rightio? This is a sheet of cowhide leather that has not been dyed. I bought this from my local leather store. I'm now going to measure out how much leather I need. Now I don't know why I made that loop at the bottom of my cutout sheet, so please ignore that. If you do this, just cut out a full rectangular piece of paper. Rightio. So I'm taking this rectangular paper sheet and I'm going to cut out a portion that is slightly longer than double in size. When I say slightly longer, I leave some space in the middle for slack and obviously for the leather to fold over. Radio, I've measured out how much I need, and I'm going to cut it now with my Leatherman. I'm now going to test fit this loop onto the sheath. I'm now going to mark where I think I should fit some fastening buttons on. However, as you'll see, I'm going to change where I want those buttons. So I'm going to actually go a bit lower than where I have marked on the sheath here. I'm going to test fit the belt loop with some fastening buttons now. Here I'm using a leather watch strap to measure out the length I want the retention strap to be. Rightio? I'm just going to make it a bit longer than it needs to be, just to give me that extra slack in the case it's too short. I'm now going to test fit the retention strap, and then I will mark out where I want to fasten the retention strap to the belt loop. Rightio, let's affix the retention strap to the belt loop using two pieces from the snap fastener buttons that I have. I'm going to let the video explain the process. Here I'm using my pricking iron to make holes into the retention strap so I can sew it to the belt loop. Now you do not need to do this. I'm only doing this for peace of mind, so I know that I have two systems in place to hold that retention strap to the belt loop. Next, I'm going to now sew the retention strap to the belt loop. Now, I am no sewing expert, radio, and I made a few mistakes here that haven't come up on video, but suffice to say, like I said, I'm no expert. There's probably better ways to do this. However, I just did it the best I could. I do know some basic sewing, as I've sewed buttons onto my shirts many times and sewed a few holes. So yeah, I do know how to sew, but like I said, I'm no expert in sewing leather. Next, I'm going to put the buttons on both sides of the retention strap. Now here I'm going to make a mistake, as you'll see. I'm going to put the button on upside down on one side, and I'll realize that afterwards. And like I said, this is the first time I'm working with leather, and I made quite a lot of mistakes. That's the retention strap done. Okay. Now I need to make sure that I make some holes in the belt loop so I can join it to itself. These holes are separate to the ones that join the belt loop to the sheath. After all the holes have been drilled, I will join the belt loop to the sheath first, and then to itself, and then I'm going to go and dye the belt loop. The video will explain the rest of the process. I'm just going to test these holes now by putting fasteners in them. Then I'm going to take them out because the sheath, the belt loop has to be joined to the sheath first, and then it will be joined onto itself at the very end. The belt loop is now complete. I am now going to clean this with the general purpose cleaner. And then here I'm going to dye it. I have bought this dye from my local leather shop. I'm also going to ensure I dye the sheath as well to keep the color consistent overall. Here it is now. Pretty happy with it. This is my first time ever working with leather, so really happy with the final product. Nothing fancy, but pretty functional, as you can see here.